Okay, I'm seeing what looks like might be some kokanee at 20 feet. We'll get the downrigger deployed. So I've got a modified Canon Uni-Troll back here that I've cut the boom down on so that the downrigger ball drops just right off the side of the kayak, so helps keep the kayak stable. It's just a manual downrigger, so you gotta do everything cranking by hand. And as much as I'd like to have an electronic or motorized downrigger, it's just not really that feasible in terms of size and weight to put on a kayak. So like a lot of other kayak anglers and small boat anglers, I'm just gonna have to rely on a manual downrigger, but there are some tips and tricks to making it less manual. But on this first deployment, I'm just going to clip in and drop down 20 feet and get going. I can see the downrigger ball on the sonar. I really rely heavily on the sonar to determine my depth. Alright, on the downrigger. Just brought it up just a few feet there. It's a lot more fun fighting them off the downrigger, I have to admit. Not having to worry about a weight or anything. You guys are spunky. That looks like a kokanee to me. It's a nice sized fish. That. Hey. There you go. That's a good sized coke. Nice. First kokanee of the day. Off the downrigger. Beauty of a fish. There you go. Nice sized coke. Definitely is fun catching them off the downrigger and not having to worry about unclipping a weight and doing all that kind of stuff. But then, the one thing I don't like about downriggers is having to crank it up, clip back in, and go through all that nonsense. But there are actually ways to make your manual downrigger less manual. I was going to go over those two tactics that I used today to reduce the amount of time that I'm having to crank my gear up and down. Today the fish are shallow. They're running about 15 feet. And strangely, I've had 2 bites today. They've all been on the downrigger, which is unusual. Usually the snap weights outfish it, but there are days the downrigger just does better. And you have to roll with it. So the first tool I'll use, I'll just do a normal setback. I'm going to go ahead and drop my gear back, about 50-60 feet. Don't have to do crazy setbacks with a kayak because fish aren't really that boat shy. Okay, so what I'm going to use is a Max Shuttle Hawk. It's a plastic weighted fin device that you have your release clip on. And you just snap this onto your downrigger line, and then you go ahead and clip in like you normally would on your downrigger. And then this actually dives once it hits the water, it will just take your gear down. And what I like to do is open my bail, turn on my clicker, and then I can just put this in the rod holder, and it'll just dive down for me. And with that clicker open, it'll just keep the tension on the line, and it'll work its way down the line here. You can see it diving. There it goes. And then once that blade dives and hits your downrigger, it'll stop. And there, now it's at the downrigger ball. So I can click my bail, turn off the clicker because those are annoying. And then just tighten up on it and it'll just stay there. So it'll dive down, and then once it gets a fish, it'll release and it'll come back to the surface. Because without that tension on the clip on the back, which kind of makes it push down and the water push down on it, so it dives. Without that tension, it'll just come and float straight back up. So we'll see if we can get a fish off of it. Oh, there's a bite. So I had that bite there. It's possible that I got stripped and I want to check it. Now a lot of times, if I had to crank up my gear every time, that would be really annoying, and I would be less likely to check my gear for bait. It just discourages me. But because I have that shuttle hawk on here, this process is actually going to go a lot easier and a lot quicker too, without as much labor. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and release this. I'm going to bring this up, and by the time I get this gear in, the shuttle hawk should appear right down here at my side. It should swim back up to the top. And there it is. It just showed up. See if I got stripped or not. I did. See, it's a good thing I checked. He got the bait off the last hook, but the upper hook's still baited. But I like having that bait swinging around the back, so go ahead and get more bait on there. Grab my clip. Open the bail. There it goes. Diving down. There we go. There's one off the down there. Nice. You see it releases off of that shuttle hawk just as it would off any other downrigger clip. That's definitely kokanee. Jumpy, jumpy. And the shuttle hawk's already back up here at the top. Come. Got him. Nice. Downriggers putting them in the boat today. Alright, so the shuttle hawk definitely works. Occasionally I've lost one though, because sometimes it'll get twisted on there. It kind of just, the slot that goes through, it's got these ridges in there to try to keep it on your downrigger cable, but sometimes I've had it where it just gets turned and I pull up, and I'm trying to pull it up, and it'll just spin off. I've lost a couple that way. I always seem to lose one a year, so they're kind of expensive to lose them. They're about 15 bucks a piece. But it does take its time to get down there. You notice when I turn on the clicker and it's slowly, there's really no way to really speed it up unless you speed the boat up. And if you have another rod deploy, you don't really want to do that, because you want that rod to be effectively fishing. So I have another alternative method that I use for getting my gear back down there quickly and easily. Okay, about 70 feet back there. So the other thing I like to use, I actually like to use these more than the shuttle hawks, is what I call weighted stacker rigs, which these are mostly composed of a carabiner, a 5 to 6 ounce weight, 2-3 feet of either heavy mono, or you can use Dacron, and then a release clip. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the carabiner on my downrigger cable, and then I'm just going to clip this into my line like I normally would. Okay. And then all I do is just drop this down, and it goes down really, really fast because it's got a lot of weight. So it gets down there in a hurry, much faster. I'm already at the downrigger ball because I'm only about 15 feet deep. And that's it. And then I just put my rod in there, and that carabiner holds it on the cable, and I'm down within seconds, versus the shuttle hawk, which takes a long time to slowly dive down there. There's one of them, stacker. There he is, and it just comes off that clip. Now, of course, unlike the shuttle hawk, the weight stays down there, right? So that is a disadvantage of the stacker rigs. But what I do is I pre-make a bunch of those stacker rigs, and once I get this fish in, I'll just grab another one, redeploy it, and drop it down. And if you have half a dozen or more on your boat, then you won't have to bring up your downrigger ball, except for maybe every 6 or 7 or 10 times, how many ever clips you want to use. They're squirrely. That's a good jump. There you go. Good boy, swam right into the net. Man, these are really beautiful fish this year. It's really interesting. Today, I have not got a single fish on snap weights. Downrigger's doing all the work. All right, so I just grab another stacker rig here and snap it in. And so all these weights, they'll just go down and stack on top of each other. It's kind of why I call them stackers. And once I run out of these stacker rigs, then I'll have to bring up my gear. But like I said, it deploys really quickly, which is nice. Gotta turn, or else I'm gonna drop right into my rudder. And I open the bail, down it goes, boom, 15 feet. I'm there in just seconds. And load up, and I'm all set. I've never had them interfere with each other or anything, having all those release clips down there. I've never had them get tangled up and not release. It seems to work out pretty well down there. Oh, yep, he's there. Got him. Nice. Ooh, he's going crazy back there. I tell you, those stacker rigs, you can get down there so fast, redeploy so quick, and not having to bring up your downrigger is so nice. God, they're swirling. Oh, he's off. Look at him. He's swimming away. You jerk. Got away. That's a bummer. That's okay. I won't have to bring up my downriggers, so I'll get another one. There we go, deployed. Yep, there's one on the... He unhooked himself. Going crazy back there. Yeah, so this is pretty neat. I mean, this will be my 5th fish of the morning on the downrigger, if I can get it in the boat. I lost another one, but I've never had to bring the downrigger up once the whole time. That's kind of the neat thing about using both shuttle hawks or these weighted stacker rigs. Now, they don't sell weighted stacker rigs, so you have to make them yourself. But I've got a video that shows you how to do that, and I'll put a link to that as a pop-up at the end of this video here. Come here. Jeez. Oh no. Come on. I've got another one on back there. A double. He's all wrapped up in it. They swam into each other. It's funny. That's chaos, right? That's the kokanee kind of chaos I enjoy. All right, so I'll put that video. It'll pop up right here next to my head, and you can watch that video. It shows you how to make the weighted stacker rigs. They're not that hard. It has all the links in the description below. You can get all your components on Amazon if you want to help this channel out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye. All right, I'm gonna bring out my downrigger. I should have there's all my stacker rigs right there. You can see them all.